was the Rosetta Stone used to help Egyptologists read ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs? It is by far not the only artifact that was used in the decipherment of hieroglyphs, but it was the spark that started the process. The Rosetta Stone was found by French soldiers who were rebuilding a fort near Rosetta, Egypt. It had once been used to build up a wall, but the soldiers noticed the text covering one side of it. The savants, or scholars, that Napoleon brought to Egypt were the first to make some progress on deciphering some of the text. They were able to figure out that the three texts on the stones were Egyptian hieroglyphs at the top, a cursive form of hieroglyphs called Demotic in the middle, and ancient Greek on the bottom. They were also able to identify the proper names in the Demotic by comparing the three texts, and identified the letters P and T in the name Ptolemy. Copies of the Rosetta Stone were made and then sent to France in 1800, even though the actual stone became British property when they defeated the French forces a year later. More copies were made and then sent across Europe. Many scholars tried their hand at deciphering it, like Antoine Isaac Sylvester de Sacy, a French linguist who deciphered the Persian Pahlavi script in the late 1700s. Johann David Ackerbod from Sweden tried as well, identifying more signs correctly than de Sacy. Thomas Young from England got very far and suggested that each word comprised of 2 or 3 hieroglyphs each. But the real breakthrough was through Jean-François Champollion of France. He studied under other linguists and worked for years on deciphering the stone. One of the biggest clues actually didn't come from the Rosetta Stone itself, but from an obelisk originally from Philae, but at the time was located in Somerset, England, which is now at the Kingston Lacy House. This piece had the cartouches of both Cleopatra and Ptolemy, while the Rosetta Stone only had Ptolemy's name in the cartouche. His breakthrough of determining that some hieroglyphs within proper names were phonetic was presented in September 1822, and in 1823 he announced that phonetic signs were not just in personal names, but in all Egyptian words. Champollion then took what he learned and applied it to many more artifacts, because essentially at a certain point, the Rosetta Stone became irrelevant because of how limited hieroglyphs there actually were.